All right, welcome back to the Teacher's Tech Bar. In this video, you're going to learn how to get started with Zoom. So this is a feature that's going to allow us to host virtual classes, and it'll be great for not only teaching remotely, but will also be great if you have a student or two missing during a regular school day. You can record your class, you can have them join in from home, and you can also bring in guest speakers so that you can bring the outside community into school. So I'm going to walk you through how to get this onto your computer and also how to schedule and start a Zoom meeting. Let's get going. So the first thing I want you to have open is the website zoom.us and your Google Calendar, okay? And when you are in Zoom, go to the top right and hit sign in. And at the bottom, you'll see it says sign in with Google, and our school is already a registered user of Zoom, so we can use our Google accounts. And just make sure to hit your school account. So I'll talk through this menu in a bit, but before doing so, I want to make sure you are able to schedule these using your Google Calendar, because that's going to be the easiest way to keep organized and to schedule meetings in advance. So I want you to go over to the calendar and just double click anywhere. And when this menu pops up, I want you to see if you have this blue Make It a Zoom Meeting box. If you did not have that blue field, okay, you're going to go down here and hit Chrome extension. And what that's going to allow you to do is add that blue box to your Google Calendar. So when you get to this menu here, this is the Chrome Web Store. You're just going to, I believe it's going to say something like download or add some variation of that. I already have it, so I'm not going to take it away. And then once you do that, just make sure to reload your Google Calendar page and then double click again to see if that has now been added, that being the Make It a Zoom Meeting. When you go to schedule a Zoom meeting, you would click this button, Make It a Zoom Meeting. You would type in any information about when your class is going to meet, the title of the class. You can also use the other full features of Google Calendar, which would be to add attachments. You could also write in a little plan for the class in here, and the students would see that. They'll also get access to all the information on how to join. What they'll typically use is this Join Zoom Meeting. That's another place where you can copy this link and put that into Podium so that your students have access to this particular meeting. And if you are a Google Classroom user, you can change the class or the calendar that this is going to show up on to your Google Classroom calendar. So therefore, I can make this one for my statistics class, and that'll show up on that particular calendar, not just my personal one. If I want to go to add students, then I would just put in the students' names in this add guests field, and then once I hit save, that goes to them, that being this entire calendar event. And if they're not using Google Calendar right now, this will send them an email. It will send them if they are using it, but I would get your students to get onto the Google Calendar so that they can start to see when I'm going to discard this one, when their classes are going to meet. So you can see this yellow calendar is the Teacher's Tech Bar calendar for some training this week. And if students start to have this calendar pop up with all the different Zoom meetings that they'll have throughout the week, I think that'll be an important way for them to stay organized and for you to stay organized as well, to know when all your meetings are going to start. Okay, so that's how you're going to get logged into Zoom. That's how you're going to begin scheduling Zoom meetings with your classes. Now let's run through what it looks like to start one of these meetings or to have one of these meetings up and running. If one of these is on my calendar, and I'll preview one that I'm going to have tomorrow, you'll see that I could click on this and it would open. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want that meeting to start, but I could click this link. I could click this blue box here. This is exactly what the students will see, and that's how I would recommend starting it normally when you have these filled out throughout the week. For now, I'm going to go and I'm going to host a meeting here, and I'm not going to turn the video on. And at this stage, it'll say open zoom.us. For me, it says that because I have the program on my computer, which I would recommend using. If you don't have that, which I'm assuming you don't, just click down press cancel and then hit download and run Zoom. And that will allow you to get the application, which you can see I will open up here. So if someone doesn't have access to the audio, they can't hear you, you can't hear them, tell them to move around their mouse. Make sure this says join audio, computer audio connected, and also looking down to make sure the green is popping up as they talk. As your students join, the managed participant, you'll start to see the numbers go up, okay? Just like on Google Meet, you can share your screen. And one nice thing here is that there's a built-in whiteboard, so you might not, if you want to pretend like you're writing on the whiteboard in class, you don't have to switch over to Notability or anything like that. You can just start writing right here, and I'll just do that. This is my whiteboard, which gives me a whole host of different options for things to do, and I can save that and send that to the class later in case some of the students were not in attendance. Okay, if you want to stop sharing, you can stop sharing. The nice thing also about Zoom is that even as you're sharing the screen, the video of you is still being presented to them. As more people join a Zoom meeting, you'll have the opportunity to change your view. If you're on your iPad, you can just swipe left and right. It'll change the view so you can see all of your students at one time. If you want kids to be able to ask questions, you can use the chat feature here, and they can type in the questions and that will go to everyone. Or if students ask you individual questions, you can do that as well. Another great feature is that we're going to be able to record these meetings. So you may want to record the entire class. You may want to record just a portion of it and be able to share that later. If students are doing a presentation on this, you can record their presentation so you can watch it later. And if you're giving a one-on-one extra help session, we ask that you do hit the record button each time you do that, just for safety purposes. Finally, the great feature here is breakout rooms. So what breakout rooms allows you to do is split kids into teams and get them into their own separate rooms so that they can be having conversations amongst one another. And you have access to be able to join all of those rooms at any time. And you have the ability to close all those meetings and bring everyone back to your main classroom. You know, I don't have any participants right now, but if I had some, I could increase the number of rooms that I wanted to do, right? So let's say I have 16 students. I want to split them up into tables of 4, and I just want to do a random assignment. I would just click automatically. Or if I want to manually assign those people to the particular groups, then I could do that here. Their names would pop up in this section, and I would put them into those groups, and then you just hit create breakout groups. And you can see that now we have these 4 breakout groups, and obviously no one's in them. There are different options, and I encourage you to look through those as you think about how you want to structure these. It's a really excellent feature for operating a class. So one thing I would recommend as you're starting this is that you keep it simple, get the meeting up and running, get all your students in there, and if you want to start to explore with breakout rooms and you want to do more screen sharing, definitely encourage you to use this feature, whether on your computer or whether you're on your iPad. Okay? Good luck getting started. I'm always here for questions. Feel free to reach out to me, and we'll be doing some training this week, and we'll be doing training early next week as you start to plan out how you're going to utilize this and how to get going with it. All right? Thanks so much for checking in and watching this video. Look forward to helping you down the road.